I still remember the moment my stomach dropped. We were sitting on the couch talking about our relationship. I was holding her hand. The conversation felt warm, familiar. We were reflecting on the past few months together, and I found myself talking about the feelings I had developed for her. The good moments, the connection, everything that made the relationship meaningful to me. Then she smiled and said she had something important to tell me. I remember the way she adjusted her position and turned toward me. She looked excited, almost nervous. And for a brief moment, I genuinely thought I knew what was coming. I thought she was about to tell me she felt the same way. Maybe not, I love you, but something close, something hopeful. Instead, she said she had been feeling it for a while. And then she told me she didn't have feelings anymore. Strange how life can change in a single sentence. One moment you're imagining a future, the next you're trying to understand a reality you never saw coming. Looking back, I don't think what hurt the most was the rejection itself. It was the contrast, the gap between what I thought was happening and what was actually happening. Because while I was seeing the relationship becoming stronger, she was quietly moving in the opposite direction. And neither of us fully realized how far apart those experiences had become. I think that's what makes some breakups so difficult. Not the ending, the surprise, the realization that two people can be living inside the same relationship while experiencing completely different emotional journeys. One person feels closer every week. The other feels more uncertain. One person is becoming more invested. The other is slowly pulling away. And often neither person talks about it until the gap becomes impossible to ignore. I think many of us assume that because we're feeling something, the other person must be feeling it too. Not exactly the same, but at least moving in the same direction, and sometimes that's simply not true. Sometimes the relationship that feels like it's growing for one person is already ending for the other. That doesn't make either person bad. It doesn't make the feelings fake. It just means that emotional timelines don't always move at the same speed. I don't look back at that moment with anger anymore, mostly because I've come to understand that nobody chooses how they feel. But I do think that moment taught me something important. Never assume you're both reading the same chapter just because you're holding the same book. Sometimes the hardest part of heartbreak is discovering that the person sitting right beside you has been living a completely different story. And by the time you finally hear it, their story is already ending while yours is just beginning.